Hello guys, today we are here in another Road Talk and we are here with the Christopher the motherfucking G. Hello my guy.
What's up?
How you doing? And we have another guest. Boris the Norbert. Hello Boris, and please
My G.
tell us about yourself. We are the trio, you know the trio, and Boris hasn't been on this channel before, so I let him introduce himself.
So what is going on, guys? My name is Norbert, and I am a content creator and videographer. I love to call myself a filmmaker also, but I do not make any movies at all. Well, the journey started with these great fucking people. Basically, my first content that appeared on Instagram, not on Instagram actually, it appeared on TikTok. Was because of these guys, because we shot a short film together for a class project.
Yeah.
And that shit inspired the hell out of me, so I decided to pick up my phone and I started creating content. And since then, I can't even I can't stop making content because it became a passion project. It's not even a business anymore. It's more of a passion. The content creation part is more of a passion project now. And well, yeah, I'm looking forward to scale my filmmaking business and modernize the cinematography world.
This guy's in the local business. He knows everything in this, knows everyone in this area. Like, if you need something, just
Give me
Have a
a
call.
call.
give a call to this man and he gets everything you want. And yeah, guys. So, firstly, I want to ask a very interesting question because I thought about this podcast about a mastermind. Like we just sitting down because we usually do this in, let's say, in 2 months, once or twice, just sitting down and talking. And I think it should be something like that, like masterminding together. And my first question is to you guys is your experience about sales and what do you know about sales? Like, are there some core principles? Because I only read one book about sales and, you know, I'm building my community, I'm building, and what I've just realized is that I'm not the best one in the sales. And yeah, I want to learn. So I know that these guys also know some things. So please tell me your opinions about it.
Yeah. So, well, if you think about sales, everything is about sales. Every idea that is being shown to us is someone selling an idea for us. It doesn't need to be a physical product. It might just be an agenda that you encounter on a daily basis. And so the core principle of sales is shifting limiting beliefs or shifting already existing beliefs towards something else which requires a solution. And then if you are aware of that problem, you can give a solution and you can make the sale. Basically, that's it. But it's a lot more complicated, obviously. Well, from my experience, trying to sell my services was difficult. It was hard. It is ruthless because when you are reaching out to people with your services, you don't want to come off like the guy who just wants to give you something and run with your money. You actually need to provide value. And this is the hard part, to recognize what you need to provide to that person in order to get a paycheck. So I've been on many sales calls, I would say, and I recorded every one of them. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted to see in which domains do I need to level up myself. This is the best way of feedback that you can get. You don't need to go to personal coaches in the beginning when you don't have any kind of money, right?
Yeah, agree.
In the beginning phase, when you are just stacking up experiences, you are recording yourself and you are watching that back, you are taking notes, and you recognize in which domains you need to level up. Basically, this is what I did, and I recognized so many things that I did wrong. First and foremost, when I did the introduction, I couldn't even start the introduction properly, right? Like, I was
Hesitating, I think.
hesitating. I didn't know what was the catchphrase.
Yeah.
Like, if you watch any kind of sales calls, everyone has a catchphrase. Everyone's introducing the other person. like it's a natural thing. And it wasn't a natural thing for me because other than school activities, I wasn't talking with anyone. And so being on my first sales call, trying to sell on a service for someone, yeah, it was, it wasn't a pleasant experience. Yeah, but basically this is my experience. And also I was deliberately taking on other people's sales calls who try to sell on something for me. I know that I don't really want their services, but I wanted to see the idea behind how they approach their customers, what are they saying, what are the questions. And I also recorded them. I kindly rejected their offer, and I started studying. I started studying how these people move, and I made documents for myself, I made templates, and I tried to improve on these skills. Basically, this is my experience with sales.
Yeah, I do agree on that because one of the best ways to sell is the people, the guy or anyone who you want to sell. You need to move that guy from pain to pleasure.
Yeah.
And it's by solving a problem. So everyone is in some kind of problem, and by having your solution shown to them, then you can sell that solution. And that's a really good way to think about it. And yeah, I do agree on that because I also know this. But you know, when you're in the sales process, because to be honest, I haven't really been so many sales calls. Like I've been on one for my first client, which I didn't close. And after that, it wasn't sales close. It was like, what's the next step to working together? Like for me,
onboarding.
it wasn't any sales calls. But right now, you know, I'm trying DM close scripts, and I just feel not just DM scripts, not DM close scripts, but trying to sell in DMs.
Yeah, it's easier.
And I just have this thing in me that not that I don't really know what's the next step. Like, let's say looking for problems and what is the next step, like what are their current situation, like knowing what their opinion, how they are, and then coming up with my offer, or just showing up like, this is how can I help you, and this is the problem where, you know, I'm facing, because I know that I have to know what are their goals, what their current situations. I need to analyze them. I need to dig for problems, and then I can come up with my solution to the problem. But sometimes I just come up with a guy who just wants to really hard sell, or I just come up with like a guy who don't want to sell, and I don't really get the golden route, you know, in between.
Yeah.
And it's really an interesting thing, because I don't know how can I say that, but sometimes I feel like when I'm, let's say, trying to sell in a DM close script on a DM, I think that not that why am I selling, but like there's a limiting belief of, let's say I'm selling to that person, and that person, let's say, buys my community, buys in my community, but he doesn't really improve on themselves. So it's like a limiting belief of that product or service which I'm giving is not good enough. But when I ask the people who are in the community what their opinions are, they all say that it's amazing and it's good and it's a ton of value. But I just feel like I'm trying to sell, and, you know, just trying to get people into my community, and, you know, I'm the person who just wants to really hard sell, or they will sell, buy in, and they will not work on the product. Or it's a really interesting belief system that I have with selling, and literally that's my problem, because, you know, selling in itself, it's not really hard because it's the same principles, but the situations are different, and the limiting beliefs or the belief systems that I have, I think, makes it harder. And I don't know what's your opinions about this, or do you have something?
Yeah, I mean, it is normal to feel like that. I also feel like that when I'm building a product, and when I showcase it to my affairs, they are always amazed of the quality, because I'm being a maximalist of sort, and I want to give the best value for those people who I'm serving. This is basically the whole premise of providing value. You need to give the people something better for free than other people's paid product. This is how you win an audience. This is how you win a sales, basically. And yeah, it is a common limiting belief to think that people won't really get that core value that you are trying to portray to them. But with many reps, you will get over this.
Yeah, and I do agree on that. But I think what I'm thinking about is like I have to get the reps in. Like
Yeah.
there's no other way of me not selling, but there's no other way of me having the belief that it works until I do get in the reps. For
Yeah,
it.
because basically you know that your core product and offer is great, like it's genuinely helping people, then why would you think that it is not in someone else's interest? The thing with communities is that people make out, the thing with communities is that people improve on themselves based on how much they put in to the community, based on how much they get out of the community. So it is up to them. You provide the value, you provide the frameworks, you provide everything they need, but it is up to their implementation what they get out of it. And it's also limiting mental belief of people that they cannot improve on themselves and they do not see the value inside what you're providing.
Yeah.
Agreed.
There is the guy, I don't know if you know him, he sells the sniper coaching thing.
Yes.
And I was in the DMs, he wanted to sell me and I was analyzing what he was doing. And he had a really good product which you can get for free, and that's a really good lead magnet, and also people can see what the value is. And also he has an interesting funnel system. I don't know if you know it. He sells workshops.
Yeah.
And the workshop is the call with the coaching client. And anyone can get in one workshop coaching client call. The coaching clients are in, and people who pay for the workshop, which is, I don't know, $100 for one time. And he does this, I don't know how often. And he teaches all of them. And if the guys come in and buy from him afterwards, I heard that he has a 30% conversion rate, which is really good about his product because it's really high ticket product. So it's really good. And when I was talking to him in the DMs, he said to me that how they said it is. I also told him that I have this limiting belief, and he said that why do you have this limiting belief if you know your product works and it can help somebody else? And I do agree on this. I do really agree on this. But when I'm thinking about talking with someone and let's say they check in and check everything out and they say that thinking about it or the objections and everything, the price objections and everything, but I know it can help them, and my first thought is that I should give the product for free for them. And I can do this for a time, but then I won't make any money. So my first thought is that I should give it to them for free. And yeah, I did it. I give away that product for a ton of people for free, and they are making progress, and it's good to hear from them. But I can't do it for everyone. But it's my first thought of, let's say they check out everything, and I give them the free product, which is just came out, and they check out everything and they say that it's good, but thinking about it or some kind of objection, and my first opinion is that give them it to free, and I don't know how should I deal with this.
And what is your experience, Norbert? Because you were operating locally, person to person, in person.
I'm going to be honest, I haven't been on too many sales calls. I've actually been on, 1.5, I would say, because, 1.5. The first one is, I don't even know how to phrase this. I would say it was a disaster, but not particularly because of me, because both me and the client were also, I don't know, we just weren't prepared for a talk like that. But the second one went very good, and all I can say about this sales thing, like I haven't studied sales basically at all. Everything I've learned about sales was from talking to my mentors who are in the videography business and doing stuff like that, or I've been watching these sales videos from other entrepreneurs that are going viral on social media pages, on social media. And all I can say is that if you have a good brand, basically you don't even have to sell.
Yeah.
If you have a good brand, if you have a if you have an audience, or there are people, how should I phrase this? If you have a friend who has a business and knows you, and they have a problem that you can solve, and the guy knows you, then you don't even have to sell anything. You got a client. That's if you work locally. If you work internationally, like, or online, it's harder because you have to work more on your brand. In my case, it was a bit easier because as soon as I started posting content on social media, people recognize. I was already recognized, but people, recognize that I know something about cameras, and I know something about editing, and I know something about content creation and all that, and also about this social media marketing stuff. So that part was easier. So basically, as Robert said, I didn't even have to hop on a sales call. I had to hop on a how do we work together, what's the next step call.
Hmm.
So yeah, basically, if you can build out a brand, if you can build out an audience, it's a lot easier. You just have to come up with something. It can be something. If you have a good audience and you tell them that from now on I have a cinematography course. So
Excuse me.
rewind a bit. So if you have an audience and you tell them that from now on I'm taking 10 of you guys and I'm going to teach you how to make cinematic reels or cinematic videos, or how do you create a cinematic commercial for a client, for a restaurant, that's for example, or for a real estate business, they will buy because they saw that you can do it. Like, they saw that what you are creating on Instagram is actually pretty nice. It's cinematic, it looks good, it's nicely color graded. This guy knows something, so I'm going to buy his course, because why not? He might teach me something that I actually need. And what my friend here says, that he's working with action takers, and that's a really good idea to tell them that you have to be an action taker, because you have to be nowadays. If you are just sitting around waiting for the right course, or waiting for the right amount of money to hit your bank account, because you need I don't know, $500 to start your business, because that's what you think, while content creation and building a personal brand is actually fucking free. Sorry. You're not an action taker. No matter how many times you will DM any of us or any other entrepreneur and ask them for advice, they will always say that you have to start doing something. You have to start creating content. You have to start cold calling people. I don't care what you do. Do something. Don't ask for advice. Go on your own route. There's just so much information on the internet that you can get for free. Basically, you just have to go on YouTube and type in how to create a 15-second cinematic reel for a restaurant, and you will find the video, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. So basically, there's just so many things that you get for free. You just have to look in the right place and start doing it. That's it. We come pretty far away from the sales part.
But you said something really interesting, because I'm building personal brand, and I always talk about the brand. And as you said, that if your personal brand is in place, my personal brand was in place when I was looking for video editing clients. And I had a coaching call with a 10K per month agency owner, and he talked about what should you do to have a personal brand which has the right messaging for this kind of product, because that was the problem for me.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the next step for me, is that not just building my personal brand, because the personal brand is you, like you online, your reputation, your CV. But the thing is that if you want to have some kind of people in your personal brand, as let's say your clients, you want to get from inbound leads or stuff like this, your messaging has to be in place. And I've been working on this, and right now I think it will be finished in no time because I had some good action steps. And I think that will make the catch, or how can you say, because if you have a good personal brand like you had, you don't have to say, you don't have to sell, you just have to say that this is it. If you want, get it. If you don't want it, just go away, because it's about action takers for me.
Of course. And also, having a personal brand is not optional anymore. Like, it is fucking needed. It's the gold standard. You need a personal brand, otherwise you cannot make it. I mean, business opportunities are just flowing in when you have a personal brand, when people can look at your digital resume. And basically Instagram acts like your digital resume, because there is all of your work. That is your whole sales funnel, Instagram. You need to build out your Instagram because there are DMs, there are stories, there are your reels, there is your link to your other socials, your website, anything. That's what you need to build.
I'm telling you that if you are doing something right, like you are really good at something, like I know a guy from Canada, I think he's from Canada, he's making really nice cinematic content. He just started selling his color grading course. Now why is that? Because I checked out a lot of his content and the comment section. And what you can see is that, hey, hi, XY, how do you color grade your videos? What software do you use to color grade your video? What are the action steps you take to color grade your video? How do you get this film look? How do you blah, blah, blah? How do you get all that? People are craving for your knowledge. People want to learn that too because they like it. That's why I'm saying that if you are creating something really good, people, your comment section and your DMs will probably blow up to get that information. First, you can hand it them for free and build a bigger audience, because you don't have to sell them everything, just you can tell them something. Maybe they will find out the rest. Maybe they will come back for more. But if you do this at least 2 to 3 times, you will have basically the foundation to build out a course or a community that is all about that, and you will know what do people want to know from you, and you can just build on that, and you will have a working course or community or anything like that, basically, because people will join it, people will pay for that.
Yeah, that's very important. And I think in plus is that if you provide value, it's easy. Like if you provide really good value, that is really, really good. So I think that's what is the most important, because you can create every kind of videos, but if you want to sell something, you need to provide really good value, really, really good value. And I think it's nowadays about not just raw videos, but videos where people are talking face to face, not a setup like this. Yeah, because that is good, and this feels like a podcast. This feels like a mastermind, I think. But if I would bring out a whiteboard here and I would pull up my phone, start recording, I think that would be as well interesting, but it would be much more valuable, because I was watching yesterday at night Charlie Morgan, and I was watching that guy. I haven't heard of him, and I started watching, not yesterday but before that, the video you sent me.
Mm-hmm.
I started watching it, and the guy just pulled me in. Like, I was thinking about, I watched 10 minutes of the video, but I like the guy. What is the reason? I was thinking about what is the reason? How can I implement into my content? Like, I was watching that guy and I felt like, I love this guy. I felt like this guy is as good as Luke Belmar in my face.
Mhm.
Like, because for me, Luke Belmar is the top
Yeah.
guy, and
Top G.
top G, yeah. And he is next to Luke Belmar. And I was like, what is the reason? And I came to the conclusion of good communication skills, value, because as he was talking there in front of a whiteboard, he wasn't looking for any kind of
Notes,
paper or
yeah.
notes, anything. He was just talking. And it's really interesting to see that you can feel if the guy knows, like truly knows it, because you can feel from the communication that he has. And I think that's really, really important to have implemented in our content, that we are not just trying to say something to provide value, but saying and telling from the top of your head, because of course it will be a long journey, because we all need to learn the really, really good communication skills. I think that guy is on top from here.
Top
But-
communicator.
But we all need to learn, of course, because there is no end point to this thing. And if we can do it by providing value, it's really important. And it will put up ourselves as the guy who knows. Because I look back at his videos and he had a ton of other videos, like the guru type of videos.
Mhm.
And I was like, I will not watch that video, but I will watch this video because it feels so natural. It feels like he knows it, and I feel like this is good. And I think we all need to implement this. And I think this was the reason we started podcasting, because, yeah, we provide value from experience. Like,
Yeah.
we don't have any notes, we don't have anything. We had
Yeah.
questions in our mind. Like, the last podcast, we had some questions to put up for each other.
Yes.
But it wasn't like, okay, I want to talk about this, let me write down some notes. Of course, there is the guy Andrew Huberman, who has like a full note section for
Mhm.
himself, because that is a big
That guy is a scientist.
yeah, that's a bit different.
That guy is a scientist.
But having the free and raw talk from experience and what you know just builds the value with the audience, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, the difference between these podcasts and the upcoming 40 will be vastly different to the way how we talk, how we persuade, what we want to say. Our communication skills will be a lot better. But of course, we started this podcast because we wanted to improve on ourselves. Like, it's not a bad thing if these videos are only getting 10 or 20 views, because we don't really care about those numbers. We care about making progress, and the best way to make progress is to put yourself out there, no matter how many views are getting in the beginning, because you have to get through the struggle phase. Like, that's the only way.
Yeah. I was reading this morning. Do you want to?
No, you go ahead. I will
Thank you.
talk after
Uh,
you.
Sorry. So I was reading Alex Hormozy this morning, and he said that he started podcasting, and after 4 years, he was in the top, I don't know, 100. And in
Yeah.
1 year, he was in the
I
top
know that.
10.
Mhm.
So can you see the exponential growth? Like,
Yep.
4 years to get in the
Yeah,
top.
it took like 280 episodes or something
Yeah,
like that.
that's amazing, and I think this is what we also need to just be about, being consistent and doing this every week. Let's say twice, because
Yeah.
twice is the good number, because there's a ton of weeks every year. So it would be
School is not making this easier. I mean,
yeah.
Next time we'll be making this podcast in the
I
school.
mean, that would
the
be funny
classroom.
as hell. That would be funny as hell.
But our class has no. We could do it in our classroom, but it
We
has afternoon teaching.
Not in our class though.
No, but we have in our class.
I mean, what we should do is that when we have
10 minutes in.
not 10 minutes but an hour, when we don't have to
Oh,
go.
true. Yeah, we can.
What
when
do
we
you
can
call
go
that?
home earlier. We stay in.
Yeah,
and we create one
yeah.
like this.
That's a good idea.
Now that would be a fucking ironic video.
I mean,
Next time?
next time, next podcast,
Yeah.
tomorrow morning.
I'm down.
Tomorrow morning, let's go, please.
I like that would be the funniest to do.
Rob?
To put down the camera on the hallway or anywhere. People would walk by, teachers would come there. What you are doing, boys?
Well, I'm actually providing value. Isn't that your job though?
Yeah. Isn't that your job to educate people?
Bro, please stop. School is not about education.
Yeah.
It's an
School is about
indoctrination camp.
indoctrination. Yeah.
I hate it, but
What I actually wanted to say after Robert was that we are like when the beautiful people here asked me to join them on this podcast. I was like, okay, well, that sounds interesting, and maybe what I will say, but basically what I'm saying, everything is for my younger self, for someone who didn't find the right education, didn't find the right tools, didn't find the right materials to grow. So I'm sending this video out to my younger self basically, and for everyone who wants to do the same thing, because if we are 19 years old, for fuck's sake, we are young, and what I would say that we are lucky, because we are lucky not because we made the amount of money that we made. We are not lucky because of that. We are lucky because something in our life pushed us towards becoming these type of persons that we are. Because in my life it wasn't like this. I remember that there was a video on TikTok. I was scrolling, and there was a video from an account, something motivation mentality or something like that. I don't even remember. All I remember that a lion was the logo. Yeah, the logo. And there were a ton of videos. Now these videos were in Hungarian, but I understood it obviously. But that was the time when I was like, yo, maybe there is actually another way. And then I saw all these videos. Basically, the algorithm saved me. Sometimes, right now, the algorithm fucking hates me on Instagram. But for the first time, algorithms actually saved me. So yeah, that's how everything started to happen. Now, back then, I wasn't an action taker. I was waiting for the right courses and all that. But we've come a long way. I think that was around 4 to 5 years ago. So yeah, it was a long time ago.
you said a really good sentence that we are lucky.
Yeah.
And I would say that we are lucky because we have each other.
Yeah,
Also, we are lucky that we
absolutely.
push each other.
The only thing that school provided us is each other.
Is this
Yeah.
connection?
Because basically we only know each other because of school. We are classmates. And also it was the school project that brought us together and started our entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, that was a really good thing because we missed school. That was fun.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the fun part. That was the fun part. We got to miss school.
And we did what we wanted. So thanks for the dirigent.
I don't even know how we agreed to do that job because we absolutely hated everything school related.
True.
And we were like, yeah, we could do that film, we could do that.
Yeah,
maybe.
because basically all of us were interested in that stuff. It was a random topic to create a short film. We never done that before. I try to make YouTube videos, but what's the name of that? There's this effect when you backstab yourself, basically. So you
Self-sabotage.
well, basically self-sabotaging when you plan out everything, you write the script, you write your shot list and everything, and you also record everything, you edit it, but when there's the last step, you have to upload that video, you just don't do it because you're scared. Imposter syndrome or something like that, I guess. Basically, you just self-sabotage yourself. You want to press that upload button, but you don't do it. So that was why I was really interested in making that short film, because I had some knowledge in scripting and all that. So why not?
That is a interesting thing because I have seen one of your short films after the first we created initially.
Oh,
There was the you know, that school had a project or something like you could create a video.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know.
What
you're
was the
saying.
topic, like?
The idea, the one we shot at
No,
your
not
house.
not that, not that.
Not that one.
The one with the mask.
Yeah, the mask. Yeah, you know.
Oh yeah,
What
that
is that
was
called?
how well it was. It was a promo video for our. Well, fuck knows what's the name of that in English. I think something like the homecoming thing for the Americans or something. So basically, the new students, the ninth graders, when they are you're not talking about that one?
No. I'm talking about the video, which was you won the prize for that. You won a competition.
Oh yeah, now I remember what. you're talking
What's
about.
that
Yeah,
video?
That was the lobotomy.
Lobotomy. Yeah.
Lobotomy, yeah.
And that was.
That was a really bad short film. I'm going to tell you. It's like now looking back, I would call that progress actually,
Yeah.
because back then I shot well. Me and I directed the movie. I wrote the movie, and the whole cinematography or the shot list was written by me. But my dad shot it because I was also the actor, and we shot that movie with my dad's Nikon camera. Don't blame me for using Nikon, please. It was the only choice. And we did that movie because there was a competition in our school with this topic lobotomy, which is basically now a forbidden surgery where people were treated with this when they had something. Sometimes even when they were depressed, they just got a nail in their head, basically. That's how they
Yeah.
cured that depression. And that was the topic, and I was like, okay, maybe I will create a short movie because why not? As I said, I love scripting, I love writing movies. So, yeah, why not? I did that, and I won the prize also. I wasn't that proud because I was the only one who created a short movie, so it was pretty easy to win. But I didn't do it to win. I knew that in Romania, no one will go that far to create a short movie for a competition. Everyone will write a poem or draw something because it's easier. Like, why would you go and create a short
fucking
movie
short movie,
for
yeah.
a fucking school competition?
Yeah.
Like, no one will do that. So basically, I worked smarter and also harder. I would say
But
that,
it was progress.
but it was progress. Like,
If you
yeah.
haven't done that, you wouldn't be this guy right now.
Yeah.
So it was needed.
And right now, I'm actually. Can I self-promote myself a little?
Of
bit?
course,
Just a little.
no.
Well, it's not self-promote because maybe it won't end up on my YouTube channel. But right now, I'm writing a new short film also for a school competition, and I'm again going full speed at a
Solo
school
alone.
competition. Basically, dropping a nuke on a tent. That's how I would call it. So the title of the movie is Deja Vu, and it's actually about breaking free of this system that is given to us. That people tell us that it's the normal one, and it has to be.
The Matrix.
Yeah, the Matrix. Basically, it's breaking free of the Matrix, and it is basically also promoting my ars poetica, how I like to call it. That there is, no one can be you, and you shouldn't be anyone else. You should always be yourself. If you love something like photography or filmmaking, or that can be also drawing. If you like that, keep pursuing that because it will work out. It will surely work out. Maybe you won't be rich, but what's better than being rich is being happy. And I know a lot of people that are rich, but they are depressed. They are not happy at all because they did reach something, but they didn't reach true happiness. They are still working for reaching happiness and freedom. And you're only free when you don't have to work, basically.
They are not fulfilled.
They're not fulfilled. Yeah, that's the right word. They're not fulfilled. Yeah.
We
So-
were talking about this with Christopher.
You
About-
talked about this
Because I said that
fulfillment. Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about being happy. Like, I don't damn care about me being happy. I care about my family. I care about my
Yeah.
relationships. But the thing is that being fulfilled is the best.
Yeah.
It's not the happiness or unhappiness. It's being fulfilled.
Yeah,
That's
that's, the
the
right
best.
word. Yeah, fulfillment. That's the right word.
And that's what you need to achieve by chasing your goals.
So it's really good when you can buy yourself your dream car. But what about buying your dad his dream car.
Yeah.
That's a lot better.
What about retiring your parents?
What about
Yeah.
retiring your parents? Okay, I don't have to work anymore because my business is successful. Okay, now that I'm retired, I'm going to retire basically everyone around me. That's my biggest goal is to that none of my friends who've been with me from the start, they won't have to work. They just won't. They will do something with me that will allow them to live the life they want to live. That's my biggest goal actually, and now I feel insecure for sharing that, but fuck it.
That's a really interesting
Do you
goal.
feel like you need to save these persons?
Come again, please.
You feel like you need to save these people?
I
From what's
don't really
coming.
feel like I have to save them. I just want to make sure they get the best out of their life because life is short and there are not many things that you can do.
Yeah.
So why not give? So why not let
Give them-
these people do the things they want to do while they're young?
Yeah.
That's why I'm chasing success and all my goals like really young. I could have started doing this when I was 25 years old with a university degree and all that, but why?
Okay.
If I can do it now, why not? If I can do more, then why not? Why
That's a
shouldn't I?
really interesting goal because for me, for my opinion, I don't have any friends like this. Like I have you guys, I have one guy also who is also rich.
He's
But-
always money.
Other than that, I don't really have, these close friends of mine whom I love so much that I would bring them up with me. Like they are pulling me down. So I don't have those friends, but I have my family and my GF whom I want to take care of.
Yeah, I heard this quote back then. It was I think 1 to 2 years ago. That it's not about being successful. It's about how many people do you bring with yourself, and that really stuck in my mind. And since then, I was like repeating this in my mind that because I have a couple of close friends that I really want to see live the life they want to live. There's also my family and all that, and my girlfriend also. But yeah, it's for me, it's not about exactly. I was always the type of guy to, to give. I didn't want anything for myself. I would rather give everything to my brother or give to my mother or father or my friends. I'm not. Well, I'm tearing up. What I want to say is that first you have to be really selfish, so later you can be selfless.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a very good.
You have to
This is
sacrifice.
interesting that you said this because we were talking about this exact topic
Oh,
the
shit.
podcast before that me and Robert are the type of person who would rather give to other people than receive because it brings us more joy to
Yeah.
give other people experiences than to buy something materialistic for ourselves.
I have a really interesting question to you, but you didn't and haven't experienced this. I have an older brother.
Yeah, but no, yeah.
You don't have.
No.
Neither of you.
No.
I want to take care of my family. My dad, my mom, my younger sister. But my older brother, it's not the same because I always told him it's possible, and he was always coming up with excuses and all this stuff. And like I have this feeling that when I will make it, I don't really want to make sure that he lives the life because my bro, you didn't believe, not that he didn't believe in me, but he was also self-sabotaging himself. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's great and all, but you can do the same. If I did it, why the fuck you can't? Like, you're 3 years older than me, and if I can do it, and I will do it, then why can't he? So it was like, I will take care of everyone, but in my head, like, I can't really think about taking care of my bigger brother because he was always, not always like bugging me, but he was always like this, guy who was different to me. Like, let's say I was watching an Andrew Tate video back then, and he came to my room and he started ranting about Andrew Tate, why he's that guy, this guy, and this and that. And like, okay, I don't care what he did, what he didn't. He has money. I don't have money. Like, do you see the difference? Like, and I was talking about this to him. He was every time he was different, and I have this feeling in my heart that everyone says that you need to have a good brother, and I have an older brother, but we are not in the same page.
Yeah.
And it bothers me. But yeah, it's I don't know what's your experience because you don't have older brothers.
We don't have experience.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have any.
But it's really interesting in my mind that, you know, I want to take care of everyone, but
him.
yeah,
Well,
because
I have a semi-similar experience with the guy which I share the house, because like he's always talking about being successful, becoming a millionaire, and trying to make it via video editing or calisthenics, but he's not taking action. So every single time when we sit down to eat a meal, or we just sit down in a car to go to the school, or we go home, he's always talking about the action steps, but there is no action behind those steps.
Steps, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, I get.
And I asked him yesterday, okay, this plan is cool, but do you trust yourself? Like seriously, do you trust yourself that you can pull this off based on your previous experiences that you haven't done it? Like, do you genuinely trust in yourself that you are capable of doing this? And he was like, in which time frame? I said, in a lifetime. Of course, absolutely. Okay, but a lifetime is a long time. You want to make it now because your parents won't be around forever. These opportunities won't be around forever. Like, do you think that these regulations won't affect how we do business online?
yeah.
Like, right now, this is a glitch in the matrix that we can make money like this. Because in the upcoming years, there will be regulations that won't allow us to make money online this easily. It's hard, it's hard. And if you are just talking about long-term, lifetime long-term, man, you're going to die and you are going to write those action steps on your graveyard. Your fucking gravestone, like, dude.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
That was deep, but I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that.
But yeah, there are the people, like, you do want to take care of them when you will make it, but
when will you make it?
yeah, like,
When will you make it?
Yeah, you need to take it seriously every single day, because when I'm opening up his room, knocking, I'm asking, like, do you want a book or some shit, and he's playing some kind of game, Terraria or anything
yeah,
like that. Like, it's okay to play games, but if you are listening to an Andrew Tate podcast while playing an indie game, that's not really productive. And why are you telling your homies the action plans and not actually taking action? Like, I'm listening to the same action plans for like a half a year now, and nothing happened, nothing changed. It's bad. It's hurting me because this person is close to me. He's like family, but I can't do this instead of him. Like,
the guy lives with a guy who did it, he eats with that guy, he talks with that guy daily,
yeah,
but that guy can't do it. Like, what's the difference? I think it's easily understandable.
yeah, absolutely.
It's the mindset, you know, like you have to build that too.
Of course.
It's not like there's this James Clear quote. I'm going to say it wrong probably, but the essence will remain the same. Well, I don't even know the quote. Something like that. Good. That something you fall to the level of your systems.
Yeah.
I think it's the most renowned quote from him.
He wrote
When
that,
it comes to
Atomic
habits, you don't fall to you fall to the level of your
Systems, your
or
habits.
something like that.
Yeah, he wrote the Atomic Habits book, yeah?
Yeah, it was in the Atomic Habits book. I just don't remember it correctly. But what I took away from that book actually is that to do something, you have to become that type of person. So if you want to become a millionaire, it's not okay to, well, it's not enough, I would say. It's not enough to get a millionaire's course and then start practicing that business model that millionaire has.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
that way you will have a progress probably, but you won't reach that because you don't have the mindset, you don't have this cognitive thinking ability of a millionaire,
Yeah.
because you didn't focus on that part. So first, what I would do is, choose a couple of traits that I want to have when I will become a millionaire or when I become a successful athlete or anything like that. Because you don't have to be rich to call yourself successfully. In my eyes, if you win the Olympics, you are successful.
Yeah.
Or if you win a big championship as a sportsman, as an athlete, you are successful.
Yeah.
In a way, you are successful. You found fulfillment, and that's what matters. But you should choose how do you see yourself and how do other people see you. Do you want to call yourself, selfless, financially free and all that? You want to be healthy, you want to be seen as a healthy guy. You have to work on the habits that actually build up that trait.
Yeah.
You want to look disciplined. Okay, then let's say, for example, do something that makes you uncomfortable every single day. That might be taking a cold shower or hopping on a cold call. Because for me, it was uncomfortable to do that, and I tried that, and it's uncomfortable as fuck. But it's something that's uncomfortable, and that builds up actually your discipline, and then you will become disciplined. Next, you want to become a man or a woman who is I don't know, let's say selfless. How can you work on becoming selfless while being selfish for at least a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or maybe more, and then you have to work on your career, because otherwise you can't be selfless, because you can only give to people when you have something to give, or you can have the money to buy the things they might want. You can't buy gifts with a smile, sadly. That would be nice, but you can't.
Yeah.
Am I right? Or am I wrong?
Nah. What you're saying is very true. You have to become the type individual.
The camera is done.
I wanted to answer the question. Let me change the batteries.
I mean, how long has been we recording?
I think around 40 minutes.
I mean, we should wrap it up.
54.
Basically, we
Come
don't
here.
need to
Come
don't
back.
need to-
I want to finish this, which I started like.
start. Yeah.
You have to become the individual who is worth that much money. Like, it's not that I will run or chase after the money. No, I will become the individual who can make that money.
Yeah.
And it's so easy because the money is the output, but you can't control the output. You can control the input, and the input you can control is becoming that type of individual. And I think this is the end of the podcast.
That is
Yeah,
how we wrap
it was a
up
pleasure.
today.
Yeah, happy to see you guys here. Hope to meet on another one.
Next time,
See
from
you,
school.
boys. See ya.
Olyan hideg volt az a kő,
Kezdett kihűlni.
le kellett vegyem, mert a moha meleg. Hát az tiszta meleg, az füttött.
Ja.